You know, we live in a different age than when I was growing up. A lot of things that we could do, young women just can't do anymore. There's just the dangers are just too great. Um, and I wanted to hop on because I'm on my way out of town, but so there will be no Saturday discussion on Twitch, not this weekend. Just want to do a little something for my birthday. But this letter came in, and it was so alarming to me. There's so many risks here that this young lady just did not see. It was absolutely frightening to me. So, what I wanted to do was go over her letter. I didn't even want to wait until Tuesday advice because it's just too critical. So I wanted to, hop on and make this video right quick. So let me talk about this letter that this young lady sent in. She says, "Dear Deborah, I have a dilemma. I listen to your content and I find it to be really helpful, but I need your help once more. I was in a friends with benefits situation with this guy who was 19 years my senior. He was really charming and told me a lot of stories that attracted me to him. We began having sex 2 years ago, and he was the first person I was ever intimate with. We were both really happy and excited about our relationship dynamic. We also lived together, which seemed perfect at the time. He and I would spend hours upon hours talking to one another, exchanging stories and whatnot. It was not up until a year in when things started to take a turn for the worst. He began to talk to me less. He would go days without talking to me or answering my text. Each time I asked him what was wrong, he would say, "I'm just chilling right now." Then, if I came into the living room too many times while he was in there, he would become frustrated. This all led up to him putting his hands on me for the first time after this past Christmas. I thought this would be the one and only time he would do that, but I was stupid and wrong for believing that. I stuck around until the end of March when he put his hands on me for the third and final time. The third time he hit me was the last straw. His mother had come to live with us, and I could tell she really wanted me out of the house. He made a big scene about me allegedly breaking a $10 coffee pot. I repeatedly told him that I didn't do it, but he didn't believe me and hit me for the final time. I moved away and got a fresh start. Now he wants me to meet up with him in New York in a few weeks. I know it's a bad idea, but I don't want to be a bitch at the same time. He already paid for the room and whatnot. Help me, please. Okay, so hold on one second. Let's see. One thing I forgot to do for those of you who may want to share a few thoughts with me via the chat. I'm sorry, I forgot to launch it. Um, yeah, I know. I just hopped in and it's just the way it is. But this was really disturbing. This was disturbing. This was disturbing. I'm really worried about this young lady because I'm not sure, even though I responded to her and I told her, urgently and just about, I seriously dug in her butt about even thinking that this was a good idea. Yeah, stop that nonsense. It was just so scary to me that she even would consider this. And I'm like, where are your parents and what in the world did they teach you about protecting yourself and dangers and stuff? So let me start from the top here with some of the things that she said. Oops, wrong letter. Now I don't know where I put it. Is this it? Yes, here it is. Sorry, I got so many papers on my desk. Yeah, these older guys, a lot of these guys are just scallywags. I'm glad somebody was, able to hop in here because totally different time frame for me and totally different day and every time, just everything. But let's start at the top. All right. She was in a friends with benefits situation with a guy who was almost 20 years older than she was. So she said 2 years ago. So that means she was 24. She was a virgin, and he was, some 30, almost 40, no 40, almost 45-year-old adult male. Okay, she's 24. You see what I'm saying? 19 years old, 19 years older. Okay, friends with benefit. Basically, this is like, for all her intents and purposes, even though she's of a certain chronological age, it's like child molesting because she's so naive and so inexperienced about everything. So he moves her in. So he's, tapping that in all of this over this 2 year period. They were excited about their relationship dynamic. I bet you he was. And I think another factor too, as a side, is a lot of these young girls grow up with no dad. So a man is 19 years old. He easily could be her father. A lot of these guys are having babies at fathering children at 16, 17, 18, and 19 years old. So for him to be that in that age range, that much older than her, and she's only in her early 20s, you see what I'm saying? It's like a father-daughter situation where her emotional neediness and that emptiness that she felt, he came in with his smooth talk and filled it and got her head thinking that this friends with benefits situation and living there with him, just giving it up for free, was a good idea. Very naive. Okay, then then the emotional abuse begins. He starts talking to her less. He would go days without talking to her, days without texting her back. Who does that? Who does that to someone? And then he would be frustrated if she came into the room where he was. Then he put his hands on her, right? So he hits her. This is in December. So she sticks around December, January, February, March, 3 more months. So during that three-month period, he put his hands on her twice more. So this is 3 times in a 3-month period. And I don't think it really has anything to do with her size. I think it has to do with her, with her mindset. Because the size of the woman is irrelevant. Big girls, skinny girls, young girls, older girls, middle-aged women, a lot of women, are females, women, adult, children, teens that fall into this trap. My purpose of coming on here making this video is to point out what you need to look for if you are this young and as inexperienced as this young lady is, what you need to be looking for, because this situation was really bad. Okay, so this is the 3rd time. So she gets herself together though. She says the mother came to live with him and wanted her out of the house. Of course she did. She could see that her son is being a dog. I mean, she's not going to say that because it's her son. But, me, if it was mine, I wouldn't give a shit. I'd be like, you get this little child about this house, you nasty fucking asshole. I never raised you like this. This is just scandalous and trifling beyond measure. Who does this? See, as a mother, that's how I would talk to my son. Because was just like ridiculous. So obviously she was working or whatever because she had the money and the resources to move, right? So she gets out the house, she moves out. She says, I left him to start to make a fresh start. So now, here, what month is this? August. So she leaves in March. So now in August, he wants her to meet up with him in New York in a few weeks. I know it's a bad idea, she says, but. And whenever they say but, I know the bullshit is coming. I don't want to be a bitch at the same time. He already paid for the room and whatnot. Now, let me tell you this. Anyway, it doesn't really matter if she's fat, okay? Can we talk about the issue here? Because all kind of women of all ages give up. The most beautiful girls in the world have friends with benefit relationship. I do not want to talk about the size of the girl. Talk about the fucking issue, because that's what's important here. I don't give a fuck if she weighs 12 pounds and is anorexic, or if she weighs 300 pounds and stars on that show, My 600-Pound Life. That fucking shit is irrelevant. Okay? Talk about the issue. I gotta keep bringing women who new to my channel back to reality. We don't gossip. We don't conjecture here. We don't talk about silly shit. We talk about what is important in the issue to help the person who's writing the letter. Okay? We don't do that here. So just stick to the topic. I don't, it's just ridiculous. Okay, so what is the issue here with this young woman? Too young, inexperienced. She left because she had enough sense to get away from him and, move on to her other thing. But then she said she made a fresh start. She didn't make a fresh start because this man still had the ability to contact her. This is what I mean. When you get away from somebody, You have to close all avenues to them being able to contact you. Change your number. And if you have mutual friends, don't give them your new number. I'm telling you, you all have got to get you a Google Voice phone number. I cannot say this enough times. You guys need a barrier between yourselves and the world because you don't seem to really be able to do this on your own. You have a Google number. That is the number that you give to your friends, to your family members, to anybody. You keep it'll ring to your cell phone if you wanted to. But when you call out, it's gonna make the call on that Google number, so they will never, ever, ever have your real phone number. That is so important when you are young and naive and silly, like this girl is. She's putting herself into a situation where, yeah, I don't. She didn't say whether it was email, social media, phone call. I don't know what it was, but whatever it was, she did not handle the situation well. That's why I want you guys to all. I mean, just when we get finished with this chat, everybody get a Google phone number. You need that. I cannot stress that enough. That's the number that you give to every nignog, every employer, every relative, every friend who has a contact with anybody that you're leaving. Actually, really anybody. Just give them the Google number because, like I said, it will ring to your real cell phone. And anytime you don't want to, you can block their call from Google. They have excellent blocking features. Their text will go to spam because you can even get SMS messages just like text on the phone from your Google number. It is the shit for single women. It is the thing that you all need to have. I cannot stress this enough. You've got to have some kind of protective barrier between yourself and all these men. Yes, it is free. It is absolutely free. And through Google Hangouts, you can make phone calls on it right from your computer. So there's no excuse. It doesn't cost you anything. You guys have got to get one. You can get it for your area code, or you can get it from area code anywhere close to you. Like I'm in the 510 area code, but 415 San Francisco, I can get that. I can get a 650 number, which is in the peninsula. I can get a 925 number, which is more inland. You know, I can get a 408 number that's in the Sacramento, San Jose area. So, you know, you can get one. Yes, you could Google it. Google phone number. I mean, I don't know the URL and stuff like by heart. I've had mine for 12 years, and it's just the best thing I've ever done for myself. All right. Now let's move on to this letter. Exactly, Christian. I'm just like, I don't want people to get distracted by focus on stupid shit, because then they want to say that it's because of that. And it's not because of that. It's because of her mentality. Because, there's no size has nothing to do with a woman's mentality. Okay. You guys have got to get one. You've got to get one. I mean, I just insist. Okay. So this young lady, so he's gotten her on this emotional abuse track where he's trying to get the upper hand. He's trying to control her emotional response. There's a whole series on this channel of 25 videos called Manipulative Things Black Men Do to Make Black Women Jump Through Hoops. If you have not seen it, it gives you 25 of the most common bullshit ass games that niggas will play to try to get you under their control. This kind of stuff is one of them. These emotional abuses where they accuse you of doing things that you didn't do, and gaslighting you, trying to make you believe stuff that's not really true, and you sitting there doubting what you saw, what you heard, and like, is it really real? I mean, am I forgetting things or this and that? Don't fall for that. So he's doing all of these things to her, but luckily, this young lady had enough sense, thank you, Zahara, enough sense to get away from this man, okay? I'm not sure. I think if you're going to call internationally, there's a slight fee involved. But you can do it. You just call, from your phone through the Google number, or through your computer through the Google number. And it's, I think if you call through the computer, it's free because it's over the internet. So, but that I'm not really sure about. But you guys just please get one. Okay. I just, everybody get one. I swear if I could make a commercial for Google about that thing for every single woman, I think it would behoove you. Get you some social cards with your social media, whatever you want to put on there, like your throwaway email address or the one that's connected to you, because you have to have a Google phone email to use it. So set you up one that's not your real Google, your real email that you use, but something cute, and that's the one that you're going to use. That's the one that's going to be tied to your Google number. Okay. So then the young lady, this is where she went wrong though, because like I said, she left that that door open for this man to still reach out and contact her. A man who kicked her ass 3 different times and who accused her of doing things she didn't do and who was abusive to her emotionally and verbally. Okay, this keep in mind the type of dude we're talking about. We're not talking about some. I'm gonna put it up on the recording, so that's all right. Okay, well you can still listen, but I'm gonna put it up on YouTube when I get done. So there she tells me that she knows it's a bad idea, but okay, once you say but, that negates all the things that you said prior to that as far as I'm concerned. So it means that you are willfully choosing to make a stupid decision that you know is going to hurt you. That's what you're essentially telling me. Do you know how much that pisses me off when I see women do this? And I'm telling you, there's another video on here. Why nice needs to die. Women are too nice, or something about nice. Please watch that video. This young lady here, she says, but I don't want to be a bitch because he already paid for the room. You know what? Let me explain something to you. What he decided to do is irrelevant. Don't have shit to do with you. If he went up and down the street throwing money like, making it rain up and down the street, that don't have nothing to do with you. If he put all his money in a ball and dropped a match on it, that don't have nothing to do with you. If he decided to write a check and donate all his money to the Red Cross or anything else, that has nothing to do with you. So the fact that he used some of his money to buy a hotel room in New York where you don't know anybody and you don't live, and you going to take your little narrow ass to New York to meet up with somebody who was already abusing you several different times and playing with your mind and fucking over you because you was so young and naive, and he was in his 40s already. Girl, do you understand the dangerous situation that you are putting yourself in? Your ass will turn up missing. Nobody will know where the fuck you are. He knows you naive and silly. You don't have any street, you don't have no game. So you're going to march yourself willfully across state lines now, okay? Because once you do it yourself, he can't be accused of kidnapping. Abduction, yes, but kidnapping, which is the federal crime, no. Because you have done it to yourself. You put yourself on that plane, drove, train, whatever you did to cross state lines. You did that voluntarily. So you've eliminated a whole bunch of criminal charges from him should something happen to you. Now let me tell you how this usually goes. Now, he ain't going to be in a room with room service. He got some rinky-dink hotel where he can, okay, he going to bring her into this place. Let me tell you how this shit's going to go. Because I know niggas like this. He's in his 40s. He was 19 years older than her. She was 24. So somebody do the math. 20. So if he was 20 years old, that would be 44, right? So that means when he met her, he was 43 and she was 24. She's, 26 now. And how old is he? 45. Okay? This is just, and then she was a virgin. And he was some old scallywag skank motherfucker. So then, let me tell you something, young lady. This is right now, we are in a war. Women are in a war with men. Okay, these guys around the world are abducting and trafficking women. Women of all ages, but they usually go for young, naive ones like you, teenagers, and, girls who are naive to about 30 years old. Okay, and don't be cute. Or in any way where you so worried about what he's gonna be doing and needing his approval. That's how you get set up. It's like they put that hook out there and y'all be biting. These girls get into so much trouble. Young lady, and once he gets you in that hotel room and gets your clothes off, what you gonna do if that door opens and 12 men walk in there? What are you gonna do? With guns and knives, you aren't gonna be able to do shit. Your ass is gonna be a victim. And you'll be somewhere where nobody knows where the fuck you are, in another state, in another city, with a man who came across the country to fuck with you. That's what's going to happen. So he can put you in a suitcase, in a trunk, in the river, whatever, and nobody will ever know how you got there. And if he does it, the way that the criminals do, no one will ever be able to identify your body if they even find your body. Your ass has got to get smarter about what you do and where you put yourself, or the dangers that you put yourself in. This is, he got that hotel room to have sex with her. That's what I'm saying. It's a straight trap. It's a straight trap, and she don't even understand what's going on. There's nobody in the world who does that. That's not normal behavior. That is the behavior of a predator. How are you going to get the room first before he even asks you? The girls aren't crazy. Nobody said that she would be volunteering to do it with 12 men. Come on now. Whoever said that is Yeah, I use 12 as an example. It might be 5, it might be 20, it might be 1. It might be that she's chained to the bed and it's an in never ending stream of them for a week. I don't know what in the world he's got in store for her, but whatever it is, it's not wholesome and it's not safe for her. And I'm telling you, anytime they ask you to go across out of the state or out of the country, your life is in danger. Do not fall for that game. Do not do it. And this man, I mean, there's nothing about this guy that was anything positive. Or, I mean, okay, so you had sex a few times. You know what? You could have done that with anybody. There's nothing here about this man as the way he abused you, talked to you like you had a tail, pounded on you, and then, now he's trying to play this kind of game with you. You have got to get smarter about it and have some boundaries in place and put your self-esteem intact here. Put it in place. This is ridiculous. Oh, well, thank you, Lacey. You guys being coming through. I mean, I was so upset. You guys were so upset because she's like the same age as my daughter. And it's like I just had like this flash, like, what in the world would I do if my baby went off to another state and I never saw her again? God got choked up. And I'm like, this girl obviously, I don't know what her situation is. I don't know if she has a mother. I mean, she could have been raised in foster care or something. You know what I mean? She might have nobody in her life to tell her that she needs to love herself and take care of herself more. I don't know unless they tell me what their situation is. I mean, she might have a mother. Maybe the mama's just stupid or a crackhead or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. But what I do know is that this young lady does not have the ability to see this situation for what it is. She lacks the life experience and she lacks the maturity and she lacks the understanding of men to make a decision that is going to be in her own best interest. And it breaks my heart to say, I mean, at least she had enough sense to write me. Oh my God. You know what I mean? What if she had just jumped on a plane or train or whatever and a bus and went down there and then nobody ever heard from this girl again? I don't trust this dude. Anybody that's gonna play them kind of mind games, well, you broke the $10 coffee pot. Motherfucker, don't you have $10? You can't get another coffee pot. You gotta rail on and then put your hands on somebody over a $10 coffee pot. You see what I'm saying? He don't give a shit about her. And when you got somebody who doesn't give a shit about you and they already have abused you, the stuff I'm talking about, even though you may think it's far-fetched and outlandish and I've been watching too much ID channel, in reality, this shit happens every day. Okay, it happens every day. Let me tell you how close to home it is. After me and my brothers moved out, my mother started doing some foster care, right? Well, she was, doing it before that a little bit too. But, we had all our bedrooms in there. I mean, every nice furniture and stuff. So we all cleaned up the house and everything, made it all to the code and everything. The fire department came, they did all inspection. She enrolled in these programs. So she did like respite care, like emergency care. Like when they had to get a kid out of a house, like, and needed a place for them to be for like a couple of days while they found a permanent placement. She did that for a while. And then she got a couple of kids permanently. One of these kids was this little girl named Jennifer. I'm not sure. I don't remember what the story was, why Jennifer came to us, but it was some abuse situation with the mama's boyfriend, but I don't remember the detail. So anyway, Jennifer comes and she's like part of the family. She was like the little sister that I never had. So, I would take her place and we would do stuff together and all this kind of stuff. And then, I don't know, we kind of fell out when I had my daughter. She said some shit that she didn't have no business saying, and I cut her ass up just like, how I do it. And so, we didn't talk for a minute. Then she aged out, right? But she would still come around. My mother, we still visit with her, buy her Christmas presents, all this stuff. Okay, the last time we heard from Jennifer, let me tell you what the conversation was. And my mother called me because she was so upset. Jennifer called my mother, and she was telling her about how she had met this couple that claimed that they worked for, what is this new federal thing? Homeland Security. They claimed they worked for Homeland Security. And they wanted her, they had a job for her or something, and they was going to like put her up in their house, and they were going to teach, pay for her to go to school, and they was going to do all this stuff, right? And she had told them that she didn't have any family, so they knew she was by herself. She was a perfect victim. And when she was calling my mother, she was calling her from the airport. She was getting ready to get on a plane. That is the last time we heard from Jennifer. Jennifer, who used to call my mother religiously at least once a week, bring her little ass over there to see her at least once a month, sometimes more often than me, and I'm the daughter, okay? We ain't heard from Jennifer. We had not heard from Jennifer in years. So I'm telling you from personal experience what I know. These kind of tricks go on with naive young women who don't have anybody who to watch out for them. Okay, they look for victims like that. She was found at an early age. She was victimized by this older dude who was a predator. And people say, like, well, yeah, but she was legal age, this and that. Okay, she may have been. But I'm telling you, mentally, since she was still a virgin and who knows what it's who you know what I mean, she's 20 whatever 4 years old, and she still has no real experience with men. That is like a child in the mind. This man in his 40s knows that, and he took full advantage of this girl, and he knows she's still like that, and so now he's coming with this back, with part two of the bullshit. You guys, I mean, young lady, I hope you see this video. I mean, I did respond to her immediately, but I was rather cryptic because I was on my phone. But I hope that she's able to see this video so she can see the emotion behind what I'm talking about. Yes, of course. But she, like I said, she did have enough sense. Somewhere she got her mind together enough to get away from him. That's what I'm saying. So she's not a lost cause. But the fact that she's considering, she's putting the fact that she doesn't want to be a bitch to him ahead of her own safety. See, that's the part that's worrying me. That's the part that's scaring me the most. He already paid for the room. I wouldn't give a fuck if he paid for the Taj Mahal. They don't have shit to do with you. Okay, stay your ass where you are. Don't you tell that motherfucker where you live. Change your phone number today. Block him on all social media. Lose contact with him. Go underground. Anybody that you know that has him as a friend on their social media, block them too. You have got to insulate yourself against this man. This man is a predator. He is a predator. And if he finds out where you are and that you still by yourself, it's going to be over for you. I'm telling you, you have got to, and anytime you get ready to get involved in a man in the future, before you do it, please write to me, because this is not, you need some help. I want you to listen to all these videos. You sit there, don't you miss one. You listen to every video on this channel. Yeah, he can get a refund. No, we don't know, Tiff. We don't know. But I'm telling you, because I know, like, when my mom died in December, if she had heard about it, there's no way she wouldn't have been there. You see what I'm saying? There's just no way. She loved my mother. She used to sit there like rubbing on her and hugging on her stuff. My mother gave her the love and affection and the attention that she never got from her own mother. I gave her love and affection and attention that she never got from any siblings that she had. She did say she had a sister, but she never really talked about her. So I don't know what it is. But so I'm telling you, she called my mother from the airport. It's like she knew that was going to be the last time that she talked to her. It was a goodbye call. She had to. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So it can go when you make your phone call. They will never have your real number, ever. You've got to have your Google number. And I don't know, you guys, but this whole situation was just extremely upsetting to me. And I'm hoping that more young women can do more to protect themselves. This is just so upsetting. It's like I'm in a sweat and everything. No, I can't. No, because she had gotten married, and I don't remember what her married name was. She ended up getting a divorce too, but I don't remember. My mother would remember, but my mom is dead, and so I can't ask her, and so I don't know. I just know her first name was Jennifer. Yeah, I was tearing up too when my mother was telling me about it, because I knew what that meant. Just no couples working for Homeland Security that want to get somebody in their house. They had that girl locked up somewhere and selling her off, just tricking her off. That's what they're doing. If she's even still alive, that was some years ago. We have not heard from Jennifer since then. I haven't done it. And I don't, if you have an opportunity, like, I have this opportunity with this young lady to intervene and to maybe thwart this kind of endeavor by some predatory guy. You guys, you can't trust these dudes. Don't be running off to hotels with these fools. Don't be getting on buses and trains and planes and driving your car across state lines to go see them. Don't do that to yourself. Don't be alone with them. I've seen that a lot of this danger too. They You break up with the guy, right? And then the next thing you know, he wants to see you. And then again, this I'm not trying to be a bitch. Be a bitch. Be a bitch. Tell him, no, nigga, I'm not gonna go over to some desolate, isolated place with your fucking ass. I'm not getting in your car. So I'm telling you, that's how the women end up dead and missing. You know this thing like trying to be nice, trying to meet them for quote so they can have closure. Fuck closure for them. You the only person you need to have worried about having closure is yourself. And you have closure as soon as you decide that you do. It's not something that somebody else gives you. It's not something that comes by UPS. You are saying in your mind, well, that's that. There's your closure. Okay, it's over. It's a wrap. So that's all you have to do. This is just ridiculous. It's just so distressing to me. I just don't know what to do. I just want to just choke her and choke some sense into her, then turn around and hug her at the same time. It's like, little girl, young lady, you have got to get yourself together. You cannot be having these men in your life that treat you like this. And so many of these girls, they think, well, I'm gonna go out and meet this guy. He's nice. He's my, we friends because they've met him on the internet or something, right? We friends. And so then they meet up with the guy, and then suddenly 3 or 4 other dudes come out the woodwork and surround the girls and lift them up. I mean, even my own daughter almost had a situation like that in downtown Oakland a couple of years ago. She's into art and stuff, so her and one of her little white friends, who's also into arts and graphics and stuff, they went to downtown Oakland to an art exhibit, right? And the place that some of the art was valuable, they had an armed security guard on the premises. Thank goodness they did, because that's what saved my child and her friend. Now the friend is a tiny little thing. If she's 5 feet tall, it's 5'1" maybe. It's somewhere in there. She's a tiny little thing, and my daughter's about 5'7". She's way taller than me, but she's skinny. She's like the little toothpick girl. So they come out of the art exhibit, right? And it's, about 5 o'clock or so. It's not dark yet. Here come 5 nignogs down the street. So they see the two of them walking to my daughter's friend's car, and they surround them. Now, they're not too far from the art gallery thing, so the security guard sees this, right? So the guys surround them and start trying to get them to give them their numbers. And they're like, no, we already have boyfriends. We're not doing that. So then they start trying to make them come with them, right? Like, like pushing them, And so the girls start crying and screaming and stuff. The security comes out with his gun. Let them go. So the knickknacks scattered. If that man had not been there, if that man even had been in the back of the building and not seen what was going on, and those 5 dudes pushed my daughter and her friend into a vehicle, what the fuck would I have been able to do about it? What the fuck would they have been able to do about it? That's why you've got to get your girls like pepper spray, stun gun, whatever you going to get them, especially if they're going to be going into these metropolitan areas where niggas are. Because these fuckers are predators. I know people be like, well, that's racist. I gives no fucks about it. Because the number one person who's slaughtering black women and making them show up missing, black men. Okay, it's not white ones. It's not Asian ones. And it's not Mexican ones. It's niggas. So, that's the thing. That's what you got to defend. Your daughters need to be defending against, and stop with all this stuff about being nice and it's for the race and all this and stuff. These motherfuckers are predators. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with them. They all crazy. But, that has nothing to do with it. But I'm telling you, this actually happened. The situation with Jennifer and that situation with my daughter and her friend, these are situations that happen in my actual life, real life to me, okay? My daughter called me. She was hysterical. They were crying and stuff. I'm like, I jump in my car and roll down there to, they had a car and stuff, but they were so shaken. It was no way that they needed to drive, their car. So, I took them to dinner, calm them down and everything. And then, the little girl followed me back. I mean, I even went to her hometown to make sure she got to her house safe. I just had her follow me, and my daughter's in my car. So I'm like, this is the reality that we are dealing with in this day and age right now. So you cannot, because I got another letter from a young lady the other day. She was talking about some guy she had met, and she wanted to know if she should go. He wanted her to come to some foreign country to visit her. I'm like, your ass ain't going. It's like, it's not my child. But I straight told her, your ass ain't going. You ain't going nowhere. I don't know what the fuck you think you doing. You ain't that grown and you not going. And so, well, should he pay this and that? I don't give a fuck, because this is irrelevant. It's that you ain't going. That's all you need to know. You ain't going. Your ass is not going to get on a plane and voluntarily go to some foreign country where you don't know nobody And you just only chasing after some dick from some man you met. You don't know who this motherfucker is or what his reason is for trying to get you to come over there. Why can't he come here? See, I don't trust these men, but I'm telling you, this is a thing you got to watch for, because they're always trying to get you out of you where your government and your laws protect you. They're trying to get you into some other area. Now, here in the United States, you still have federal laws that cross the state lines with someone is, a federal offense. That's a felony, and that's punishable by, many, many, many years behind bars. But that's only if they find you, right? That's only if somebody knows that you've been missing and what happened to you. A lot of these girls, like her, she walk up in the hotel room and is never seen again. I could just see it happening in my mind. I just could see it. And people are like, well, you too paranoid. No, Deb is a realist. Deb has this vision. I have the ability to have like foresight and to look at one thing and then figure out all the moving parts, possibilities and stuff within seconds. That's how my brain works. And all I saw for this girl was doom and destruction, because the guy has already put her on that path. There's no way he's gonna, turn around and be anything different. This is just a nightmare. You guys, you got to stop this. Stop this. You're not getting, your ass ain't going nowhere. You trying to get somebody to go visit some dude. I don't give a fuck if you're 40 years old. Your ass is staying at your house, and you're gonna meet dudes, and you're not gonna go on no cross country trip to meet some man because he wants you to do it. Don't you dare. Don't you dare do that. Now, I'm going to be everybody's mama telling everybody what to do. But no, don't do that. Okay, see, she's a perfect victim for him. Because, see, her body is going to be that of a 19-year-old, because the hormones and everything. Oh, yes, that's right, because I was called an empath before. I forgot about that. Yeah, this lady, I forgot. Yeah, she did this whole test on me. And that's what she said. I was like a high-level empath. I'm like, I still don't know what that means, but whatever. They got 9 years in prison. Good. The police put her off the bus. Okay, I must have missed something. So somebody, I'm scrolling up so I can read this. Oh man, you don't pay. Yeah, it pays to be crazy. They found her born in a Greyhound. She was getting ready to go somewhere. Oh no. Oh, you learned those the hard way, Sophia. I'm so sorry. You know what is really amazing about this is I've been doing this for a long, long time. But what amazes me though, and I still don't know what to do about it, and if you guys have any suggestions, it's like the stuff I say is about saving women and making them aware. Not to necessarily make you afraid, but to make you aware. This shit that I'm talking about is reality. It happens every day. It's not like I'm making this shit up, but you have to, like the young women in your circle and stuff, you got to talk reality to them. They get all this stuff about, black men are kings, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And probably some of them are. But they need to have the tools to learn how to discern which ones are not. Okay, so don't just give them this broad brush to sweep all of black manhood with, because as we know, a good 70-80% of them ain't shit. The 20%, yes, but how are you supposed to be able to identify those few amongst the many? That's the tools that we work to give girls to work for the girls to have. The other thing that bothers me is I will say something, right? Something I've said, I've been saying for 20, 30 years, right? Let some knuckleheaded knick-knock say it, and suddenly it's like, women are quoting it and putting it up around and making memes about it and spreading it all over Facebook and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, what is the difference when a woman says it and then when a man says it? What I don't understand that, because it's the same thing, and it's like I've been saying it before most of these dudes was even born. So it's like, what are you talking about? Why are you listening to them when in many instances they're just doing something that's going to set your ass up anyway? They're trying to, set themselves up to be viewed as the good guy. So, I mean, not to say everybody, but I'm just saying that's always in the back of my mind. Well, why? Why are you saying this? What's your goal here? So I don't know. I'm just thinking, I just want anyway. I just wanted to let you guys participate in my response to this young lady. She can read the chat and see, you sharing your stories of similar things, so she can see I'm just not coming out talking off the side of my neck. This shit is happening every day, and these are actual women who the shit in their family has happened to, or they've personally experienced it. That's important validation, I think, for a lot of young women, because they feel like, or the guys feel like, well, because I haven't seen it or it hasn't happened to me, that it's not reality. It hasn't really happened. It's not what you're talking about. It doesn't mean anything. And that's not true at all. All right. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm about to go visit my cousin and spend a little time up there with the family, and try to relax a little bit, because I'm telling you, this got me stressed the fuck out. Like, oh, young lady, please, please, please don't do this. Do not do this. Just tell him you're not coming. Or worse yet, don't tell us that shit. Just change your number and shit. He'll get the message when you don't show up. It's validation. Oh, look at Zahara coming out with the philosophy. I don't know, you guys. I'm just so disgusted. Okay, good. Okay, when they special needs, yeah, they seem to play more tips, more special attention when they know that the person really didn't make the choice to go anywhere voluntarily. Because otherwise, they say, well, they have a right to be missing, which technically, legally, they do. But if she, is a special needs person, she will never have that right. You will never have that right. Yeah, it's not news. You're right. I hope she does too. I hope she listens. You guys, thanks for rolling through and sharing your stories and providing your support in this endeavor. I will be back probably, Monday or Tuesday. And because, yeah, definitely by Tuesday, because I want to do the next advice grouping of letters. And but in the meantime, I'm gonna just be like, pretending I know how to dance and drinking and laughing with my crazy ass cousins. I can use a few giggles. All right, you guys. You guys have a great weekend. I really appreciate your support. More than you know. You guys, it's a wonderful audience. It may not be as big as some people's audience, but it's a very active and involved and supportive, not only of me, but each other audience. And I really appreciate that more than you know. You guys are just fucking awesome. Awesome. All right. Bye bye.